Hi there, guys. I want to welcome you to another episode of the August Moon podcast. And today I wanted to discuss more in depth about how you can heal or an issue or health problem um, on a deeper level than just taking supplements and some of the other things I've discussed. Because one thing I want to mention is that after working in the health food store for years and years and years, I would have customers that would come in, and I am not kidding, they would spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a month on the most premium, brand new, top of the line supplement. First it was like noni juice, and then it was like on to like acai, and then they were taking, the highest vitamin E and vitamin C, and just the list just kept going on. And they were sicker than ever. And one thing that I learned is that you can't just keep taking all these supplements and expect yourself to heal. And you can't use diet just alone and expect yourself to heal. There needs to be an inner shift that occurs. And when you actually do an inner shift, the amount of supplements and external things you need to do and take in are a lot less, actually. And you don't need as many. So how do you go about doing this? Well, let's discuss this from the beginning. Imagine any illness that you might have, or discomfort, or health problem. And especially if it's one that you're told or conditioned to believe there's no cure, there's no way to heal it, you just take these medications, and that's it, and you deal with it the rest of your life. Well, the first thing you want to do, and this is a big one that people run into, is they actually either have a conscious or subconscious belief that they're unaware of that they can't heal, that this is impossible. And this can be quite debilitating in reference to being able to heal. One thing that Deepak Chopra talked about in one of his books is that people that would have come in and they would complain of symptoms that were cancer, but he told them, for instance, oh, you just had, a bad stomach issue, or you had some kind of other issue that's just mild, or that was just, your gallbladder was acting up, but it's nothing serious. Well, they would go home and they would actually start to heal as though nothing was wrong. And they would come back and report after a long while, maybe a year or two later, they'd report, I swear that I thought I had cancer. And when he told them that they actually did, the cancer would come back and they'd be gone within weeks. Well, this goes to show that we have a lot of power in our mind, and it's what we call the placebo effect. And this is actually a real, true, scientifically proven thing that our mind can do, and it can actually produce chemicals, hormones, and reactions just like we had taken the pill, or we had the surgery, or whatever else needs to be done. Our body will then do that. If we believe, for instance, we're taking the medication that would cure this. And one thing I was listening to on BBC America the other day was the study that they would give people drinks that they thought were alcoholic, maybe even tasted like it, but they weren't. And they would begin to get drunk as though they had a couple of drinks up to a certain point. Now, they wouldn't go beyond this certain point because, of course, it was not alcohol, but they would start to get this little bit of tipsiness as though they had alcohol. So this is their mind playing tricks on them, or believing that what they're doing is something that's not there. So you've got to work on your subconscious and conscious beliefs that healing is possible. Now, one way to do this is to start using affirmations, and use affirmations that it is possible to heal, and that you have a strong body, and that your body works at 100%. Now, you can also do kind of like an affirmation where you say a statement that is, I cast out any belief that I cannot heal. I cast it out from my subconscious, conscious, brain, in my energy centers, in and around me, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. And I release this to the sun to be repolarized into positive energy, that a belief that healing is possible, that whatever I've got can go. Knowing that other people have had this type of illness and healed, or even worse illnesses and healed, and survived and lived, and gotten better and improved. I replace it with being at peace. I replace it with being happy and joyous, and then you can kind of end it with kind of like, some people say amen, some people turn it over to the sun again, or to God, or whatever they believe, and then just go about their day. Now, this is a way of kind of releasing it from your subconscious and your conscious mind, from your energy centers, and letting it be just gone. Now, I've talked about this before, but every illness or body problem and system in your body has correlating emotional cause that is what contributes to the illness being there. Now, the premise is that if you heal those emotions that create that type of illness or disease, systematically the disease must go, because there's no more energy behind it. Now, Louise Hay, the famous author who wrote the famous book, You Can Heal Your Life, she in that book talks about this, and she's one of the pioneers in this science. And what she did is she took the illness or health problem, and then she also wrote the corresponding emotions that created that. And then she further went on to have some affirmations, or an affirmation that you can say that would help release that and create a positive belief and a positive emotional state within you. So I recommend that you check out Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life, and look at that. Also, you can type in whatever your illness is. Let's say it's acid reflux, just using an example. You can go acid reflux, Louise Hay, or you could do acid reflux, Louise Hay emotions, and go through and find one of those sites that has a list of all her illnesses in alphabetical order and the emotions that correspond. And then you can say another kind of affirmation, like statement, like I said, to release the resistance to healing. That's one way to do it. You can create affirmations that are the opposite, but make them in the present, you frequently using the statement, I am, and that it's in the present, and that it's positive, no negative, because if you say, I am not sick, your body only hears sick. So you want to say, all is well, I am at peace, I have fun in my life is beautiful. That's just one idea. But you take the illness and then find the opposite of that. Now, the next thing you've got to do, and this is very important, is you have to relax, and you have to tell yourself, and you have to actually get yourself to believe and feel this, that you love this issue. If you've got, let's say, I'm going to use another example, multiple sclerosis, and you're told there's no heal. You can't permanently heal from this. You may improve a little bit here and there, depending on the type you have, but over time you'll just get worse or stay in this generalized state that you're in. Well, get yourself to a place where you say, okay, that's totally fine, and start affirming how much you love this illness or this health problem. And then another thing you want to do is start telling yourself, it's okay for me to feel upset, to feel negative, to feel depressed, hopeless, whatever you feel in reference to having that illness. And that's normal. And give yourself permission to feel it. And truly, spend a couple minutes each day, whether it's 2 minutes or 5 minutes, or even 1 minute each day, maybe do it twice a day, where you can get yourself to the state where you just say, thank you so much for this illness. I love you. You have permission to be here if you need to be here. And my feelings about this, being upset, worried, panicked, feeling like I might die, feeling like I'll never improve, feeling upset that I have pain or discomfort, I accept that completely. That's going to do a world of wonder, just that alone. You're going to start noticing a huge change within you. Now, I know I'm telling you a lot of information, but this next one is very important as well. And what you've got to do is you've got to make a commitment within yourself that you are no longer going to talk to people about your problem. Whatever the health problem is, that's that. The universe knows, God knows, your spirit guides know, you yourself know, your cells know, your brain, everything around you knows, the people you've already told, your doctors, etc., they all know. You don't need to keep talking about it, affirming it. And so stop telling it to others, but now here's a further step. Stop telling yourself about it. Stop thinking about it, stop talking about it, stop ruminating about it. And one way that you can help you do this is make a list of things that you love doing or love thinking about that you could pivot to as whenever you start to think about your health problem or illness or disease. And for instance, an example would be, I love the beach. And I can imagine some of the most wonderful times in my life where I was at the beach. I just start to ruminate on that, think about that, feel joy about that, and even if it's for just a minute, causes me not to think about that illness or health problem, that's amazing. You are one step closer to not thinking about it or talking about it to yourself. Then, for instance, you find yourself later on thinking about it again. Think about the wonderful restaurant that you love. Or think about hanging out with your dear friend or your husband, wife, or your children, or whatever brings you joy. And think about that. And think about, a time you had at school that you had so much joy. And you just keep going on with these things that bring you joy and happiness. Each time you start to think of your illness. But keep reminding yourself, you're not going to tell anyone about it. You're not going to call anyone. You're not going to hang out with your friends or even a stranger and tell them about it. You're going to even stop needing to tell your doctor about it. Now, I'm not telling you not to go to your doctor. I'm not telling you not to see them in any way. But what I'm telling you is just slowly stop mentioning it. Except for when it's absolutely necessary, when you're in your doctor's appointment or you're making the appointment. But day in and day out, don't think about it, don't talk about it. Now, I'm not going to go on any more about that. I think you guys have got the point. The next thing you want to do, you want to use some affirmations that your illness is temporary. And you want to remind yourself that others have healed of this, and even worse issues than this. And you want to remind yourself by saying something like, I can heal from this at 100%. My body is well. It functions beautifully, and it has healed from many other illnesses and issues, and this is just the same thing it will do. Then, if you need to, do some research online of people who have had your exact illness who have also healed. Or look at people who had terminal illnesses, things that were incurable, lifelong, debilitating, or whatever it could be, and you look at people who have reversed it, healed it, solved it, gotten rid of it, and been able to live a beautiful life. Now, if you can't find anyone or think of anything, I want you to Google a man named Norman Cousins. You can find videos of him on YouTube. You can also find books that he's done, but there's tons of articles and stories about him that are factual, that he actually had a form of terminal arthritis. And I didn't know you could get a form of terminal arthritis, but I guess you can, and he had it, and he was told he wouldn't make it more than 3 months max. Well, he decided to quit his job, to move into a very small apartment with his wife, and he started listening to radio programs where they were funny stories, and he started watching comedies like I Love Lucy and what else would he watch? Laurel and Hardy and The Three Stooges and anything he could find that just was bringing him laughter. And he would just laugh and laugh and laugh, and he would try to get himself to feel so happy and good that he actually healed himself of this terminal cancer, and he ended up living more than 25 years longer than he was told he should have lived. And UCLA, I believe, gave him an honorary doctorate degree where he was teaching medical students how to heal using the power of laughter and positivity. And he is an example of how you can heal. You could even apply the same technique. You could say, the hell with this. I know I've got it, but I am not going to let this take me down. I'm going to apply laughter. I'm going to apply positivity. I'm going to apply joy. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to bombard myself and my energy system and my mind and my thoughts of nothing but happiness. Now, there's also something that you can look up, and that is laughter yoga. Now, that was created by Dr. Madan Kataria from India. And Dr. Madan Kataria, he developed these techniques where you do different kind of laughter exercises where you start laughing. And you can do this as a group. And if you can't do it in a group, you can look on YouTube. There's plenty of videos on it. You can even watch Madan Kataria guide you through laughter yoga for the day. And you could use the power of humor and laughter. And what they found is even a fake laugh becomes a genuine laugh. And that your body and your energy system cannot distinguish between a fake laugh and a real laugh. So, try doing that and see if you don't get some improvement just from doing that. Let's see. Now, I've kind of bombarded you with a lot of information. And there are a lot of things that you'll see on TV about illnesses, about medications that you might be able to use for your illness. You might hear about surgeries and medical problems and watch these programs. I mean, there's dozens of them. One about people that deal with the skin issue, and I've seen these foot issues that are like the foot from hell, and then the obese people need to lose the weight, and then the surgery that they do on this person for that disease, and then the heart thing, and then before long, you're bombarded with that. Make a point to not listen to the ads about the medications, to listen to things that talk about the health issues. Don't listen to health programs like that. And try to just surround yourself with positive energy, thoughts, and things like that don't have anything to do with reminding you of problems. And lastly, I'm going to say that frequently, if you don't know what you actually have, it's a lot easier to heal than when you finally know, and you know it's an incurable or it's an untreatable issue, and that you know certain things are terminal or lifelong debilitating and there's no way to cure from it, like Parkinson's or the multiple sclerosis one I used, or certain other diseases. But there are people who have healed. Keep reminding yourself that. Look them up. Stay close to their story, and you can begin to transform yourself and begin to heal. Now, these are the the top things that I recommend that you do to begin your healing journey. And it's more than taking any supplement. It's more than taking any vitamin. It's more than eating any food. Yes, eating healthy, organic fruits and vegetables and high-quality proteins are essential for your body. We know that. And drinking fresh, clean, purified water and getting all the nutrients you need, yes, though that's important. But if you don't do the inner shift, you could eat the healthiest diet and die of cancer. You could have the most amazing whatever and have Parkinson's till you're dead. You could get dementia and get worse and worse and worse until it's the end. And you're so lost in outer space with not remembering anything that's that. So work on the inner, then the outer will be less important, and you'll need less supplements. The food you eat, you'll be naturally gravitate towards healthy foods when you make an inner shift. People that naturally shift to a higher vibration, they don't have to try to fight getting off of soda, and they don't have to fight getting off of like a high sugar diet, and they don't have to fight stopping smoking and drinking. They naturally just do it because it's vibrationally not compatible with who they are anymore. So that is all I'm going to say about that topic for today. I do want to remind you that I am the owner of August Moon Organics, an organic nutritional supplement company, and I currently have 2 amazing products, and they can help you with what I've discussed today. The one that can help you probably the most is my daytime stress formula, keeping the stress down throughout the day in a way that doesn't knock you out, doesn't make you feel intoxicated or tired, is something that's needed these days. Our life is stressful, and when you're going through a health problem, it seems like our stress and anxiety, our ability to stay positive is it's harder. We're way up here in stress, and we need to start bringing ourselves down to start feeling good. And I include things in my stress formula like organic lavender, organic rose petal, and organic chamomile, amongst other things, to help you gently calm down without having to be doped up and need things like tranquilizers and prescription drugs of whatever type to help you calm down. So you can check that out on my website, august-moon.com. Again, that's august-moon.com. My next supplement is for nighttime sleep, and it's designed to help you with the 3 most common reasons for not sleeping. Number 1, you jump into bed and you start noticing that you're having churning thoughts. Your mind is just going round and around and around with thought after thought after thought, and you just cannot get to sleep because of it. My sleep formula helps combat that. The next thing is you wake up at 2 in the morning and you can't seem to get back to sleep immediately. And the other reason is that you have physical tension and pain and anxiety that is keeping you from being able to relax. And I include ingredients in there that naturally calm the muscles down, like magnesium chelate, which is bound to amino acids, and it pulls the magnesium into your body at a very high percentage rate. And magnesium causes the body to relax and calm down. They've also found that people that had higher levels of magnesium had less stress and less anxiety symptoms just by doing that. And one thing you may not know is that you cannot build serotonin without magnesium. So keep these things in mind. Check out my website, august-moon.com. If you guys have any questions or comments about what I've discussed today, please send me a message at justin@august-moon.com. Again, that's justin@august-moon.com. And if you feel like there's any topic or subject that I should talk about, or any health issue or nutritional supplements you want to know more about, or anything related to these things, I'd love to hear from you. I'm always looking for things that I can talk about that my audience would be interested in. So you guys take care, and I look forward to chatting with you next week in another episode of the August Moon Podcast.